Hi all, welcome to my channel again. So this section is about the Docker Compose and Volume for DevOps. So in this session we are going to discuss about some tasks which will detailedly explain you about what is a Docker Compose and what is Docker Volume and how it gets used while we are working. So Uh, uh, I have already mentioned everything in this blog. If you want to check out this blog, you can check out from this link in the description box. And please watch until the end so that you can get a better overview of what is a Docker Compose and how it get used while you are working, and about the Docker volumes also. So first task will be the creating a multi-container Docker Compose file which will bring up and bring down containers in a single shot. So, what is a Docker Compose? So, Docker Compose is nothing but when we want to manage multiple containers, then we can use the Docker Compose command. So, here use the Docker Compose up command with the flag -d to start multi-container application in detached mode. So, here if you see in the screenshot, Docker PS will return nothing is running inside the container, but when we have written a Docker Compose YAML which is having two images, web image and DB image. This is the web image and MySQL is the DB image. So this is the YAML which we have written for Docker Compose. Whenever we use the Docker Compose command, then this YAML will get executed and everything will be applied for these images only. So when we run the Docker Compose up -d, then it will start these containers, two containers with images as I have explained in the Docker Compose. Whatever the image will be there, it will be running here. Since we have run the command Docker Compose -d, and the next one is MySQL image. Okay, so next is the use the Docker Compose scale command to increase or decrease the number of replicas for a specific service. You can also add replicas in deployment file for auto scale. So here Docker Compose scale, we can use that to scale the replicas. So if you see here, this is the Docker Compose YAML, just having one web image and one DB image. So for this, the replicas will get created. However, whatever the number you apply, that many number of replicas of each image will get created. Here, if you see when you run Docker PS, nothing got returned. Then we have run the scale command, Docker Compose up scale, have scale web equal to 2 and the scale db equal to 2. So here we are specifying the each image to scale with two replicas, two containers. So after running this command, when we give docker ps -a, then we can see for each image two containers is running. Here if you see MySQL, two containers are running. For web image also two containers are running. Next is the docker compose ps command to view the status of all containers, and Docker Compose logs to view the logs of a specific service. So PS command will normally list out the number of containers which are running. So when we run Docker Compose PS, it also returns the same. You can see here, and the Docker Compose down. So this command will stop and remove all the containers, networks, volumes associated with the application. So Docker Compose down, when we give, everything will get removed along with the containers, networks and volumes. So in one word we can say Docker Compose is the command which using which we can manage or maintain our containers in bulk amount. So more than one container if you are using, so it is better to use the Docker Compose. Using that we can start or stop the multiple containers at a time instead of doing it by one by one. So yeah, that's all for about the task 1 and about the task 2. Learn how to use Docker volumes and named volumes to share files and directories between multiple containers. So here if you see, if you go inside, let's create one volume directory and go inside that and use this command to create a volume. So what it will do, it will create a volume name at this, and the path will be this for, and this is the image name which we are using. So here after when you run this command, volume gets created. Here if you see volume ls, if you run this command then you will get the details of the volume. So when you inspect this volume you can see this is the volume name, right? So when you give inspect this volume name then you will get when it got created and where it got stored and the mount point for this volume and the name of this volume, everything you will get here. And then create two or more containers that read write to the same volume using the docker run mount command. So you can, for that you can simply run this command which will uh, read and write data to the same volume. So the same is explained here. You can go through my blog detailedly for, I mean, go through my blog for more details. So next is to verify that the data is same in all containers by using the docker exec command to run commands inside each container. So when you use this command, it will fetch fetch the details that will allow us to check whether the data is same in all containers or not. So when you run that here, you can see the data inside it is same or not. Next is I use docker volume ls command to list all volumes and docker volume rm command to remove the when you are done. So ls will fetch the details of the volume as I have already explained, and rm will simply remove the volume. So docker volume rm and the volume name will simply remove the volume. Yeah, so that's all for today. Thanks for watching my video until the end. And if you want to check out this blog, you can check this link in the description box. See you in the next section. Thank you.